Project Sapient is a podcast meant to engage our brothers and sisters in the law enforcement and military communities in conversations that we all know we need to have. All opinions you'll hear are our own, are protected by our First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and in no way reflect or are meant to reflect the opinion of any specific agency, officer, or service member. Some opinions may be controversial. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Project Sapient, guys. Check us out, projectsapient.org. Shoot us an email. Ayman loves your emails. projectsapient2020@gmail.com. We want to thank thousands and thousands of people listening to us around the world. Thanks to Ayman. We want to say thanks to our supporters, DCD Automotive, Effective Fitness Training, which is EFT, Till Valhalla Project, AAA Police Supply, HAVOK Journal, our partners at the Profiles and HAVOK Podcast, Second Mission, Live Boston 617, OD Kit, Eagle Eye Firearms, GunTrack, Fit Cops, 22 Mohawks, and Joint Operations. We love you guys. Thank you for making us the #1 military and police podcast on the planet. We have an interesting episode this week. Ayman, good sir, Ayman is here.
You didn't even say hi to me. Like, you just went right through the intro.
I just introduced you.
Like,
what kind of better fucking introduction do you want?
Unfucking real. Unfucking real.
This shit. And that's how cops do things.
Yes, exactly. Filled it with anger and disgust.
So what are you doing later, bro?
Just another day in paradise. I did a Baton Memorial Death March this weekend.
You had a lot going on.
My feet are dead. I did feel part of my soul leave my body at the 16 or 17 mile marker. Both me and my partner, a fellow SWAT operator, and a good friend of mine, we both did 26.2 miles, and it was we felt it. We didn't do any training for it because we're just like, fuck it. Let's just do it. Yeah. And, like typical 20-year-old mind says, yeah. 4-year-old body says, what the fuck?
That's why you had me rubbing your thighs and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, with oil.
Anything for a brother, man. Whatever works.
But it was cool. It was good. The only part that sucked is this week, a couple days ago, had SWAT training.
Yeesh.
And they decided to do a lot of running around and elevated heart rate and everything. And my foot, I was like, you motherfuckers.
Ayman's like, fuck this shit.
I was like, what? I
give up.
And dude, of course, my partner who did the tough rock with me was running the range. So he was doing the running.
Oh, he was running it.
He was teaching. Yeah, he was I was like, you motherfucker.
Suckers.
Oh, exactly. Oh, I could see the smile on his face when I would run by him and just be like, fuck you.
That's some fuckery going on, dude. I like
Big time. But hey, it was fun. It was a good time. But we got the Tough Ruck coming up April 16th.
What's the Tough Ruck?
Tough Ruck is the same thing. It's after the Boston Marathon bombing. It's the same one that they do every year.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Ruck March. And
it goes to the State House?
No, it doesn't go. It's in Concord now. They don't do it because they don't do it along the marathon route anymore because no more backpacks are allowed. So, terrorism fucks it up. Exactly. So gonna do that 26.2 miles, and I think my foot should be healed by then.
You have another one. You're good.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Halfway through it, I said, I don't think I can feel my right foot. I think my right foot is gone. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Damn, dude. That's crazy. This thing's frozen. That's good. Look at that. That's a nice picture we got there.
There
frozen.
it is. All right, cool. All right, whatever. Charlie Mike.
There we go. We're back again. Okay.
All right. So today I figured I want to touch on something. Giggity.
Touch.
And Jesus. All right. Sorry, guys. ADD's like all over the place right now. But been training pretty well, especially, tough, doing the Baton Memorial Death March, right? It's to commemorate the World War II soldiers who fought and were also forced to do that Baton Memorial Death March to include the Philippine soldiers that were part of it. But more after that, myself and my partner, we were talking, obviously 26.2 miles is a long time. So talked a lot, and we were talked about, training like you fight. And it was a very good discussion more on our philosophies on how we should be training as a profession in law enforcement.
In general?
in law enforcement, not just in general, firearms, fitness, kind of like we had Adam on, from Effective Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about how the importance it is to figure out where your baseline is under stress. Okay. So that's part of the training that we're working on and rolling out very soon.
Guys, we're rolling out a massive fucking training, and it's probably going to be nationwide within the year.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's going to get there. So, without giving up the info, but we're talking about as law enforcement professionals. We get into this job, academy, whole 9 yards. Oh yeah, good stuff. We do the quals, whatever. And if people don't know, the quals are a joke. I think we even talked about it with Adam.
Yeah.
We said it was a joke. Like, it doesn't really give a good measure on anything.
It's not training.
No, it's not training. It's just you're hitting a paper target.
Qualifying isn't training. But anyway.
No. But you can make qualifying training if, in fact, it's training. There's nothing really that says you have to, stand at the 15, fire 5 rounds, reload, fire another 5 rounds. No, you can actually change it around to fire from the 15 to fire those 10 rounds, but in different positions.
Right.
More of a combat shoot course. But again, powers that be don't think that way because they think as long as there's a hole in the target, it means you're qualified.
There's a hole in the target. Check mark. Yeah. You shot it.
Check the box training again, right? Now, I don't mind doing qualifying. Just to point out, I don't mind doing qualifying. I don't mind doing qualifying for taser, qualifying for this, which, you got to show that you are qualified to handle that weapon and that you're efficient. But here's the thing. Efficiency and efficiency, being effective, is completely different than qualifying with the weapon.
Yeah. In
the military, in the Army, right? As part of our training, and even going through like the NCO boards, non-commissioned officer boards, being a sergeant and stuff like that, you have to go through a series of tests with all your weapon systems that that is in your unit. So, for example, my unit, we had an M9 pistol, the M4, M249 SAW, 240 Bravo, 50 cal, Mark 19. That was sort of standard in our unit for our weapons in our armory. Now, the next thing you're supposed to do is, in a specific amount of time, you take the weapons apart and put them back together. You're timed.
Okay.
So can you imagine? I mean, taking apart that 50 cal is like Tetris.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When you get the bolt out and all that shit, and they give you a good amount of time, but it's actually not that much time.
So there's stress induced.
There's stress induced to take it apart and put it back together. And not only that, there's something called with 50 cals is headspace and timing. You have to be able to. There's two. I will never forget. It's a key ring.
I've never taken apart a 50 cal.
Yeah. So there's a key ring, and on this key ring, there's 2 metal plates. Each plate will tell you the headspace and timing of the 50 cal if it is serviceable to shoot. You have to do all that in the allotted time.
What's the allotted time?
I don't remember. But
was it stressful?
It was. Let me look it up. What's the allotted time for 50 cal? If I remember correctly, it was 12 minutes. If my memory serves me right.
But your point is that they were inducing some stress into it.
Yeah, and not even yelling, it's just time.
Right.
And if you fail, that you're a no-go in that station, you may not get promoted.
Wow. Okay.
So it is stressful that you have to be. I mean, we practice, way before these things come up. So we're always taking them apart, putting them back together. We're always cleaning them. So it's sort of second nature to us. Right. But when we're doing it in the armory, we're taking our time. We're listening to music, fucking around, whatever. This is a little different. There's more, you've got the instructors. You've got, they're scoring you, standing right behind you. Once the buzzer's out, that's it. You're done. Yeah. And each weapon system is different time. Obviously, the M9 is like quick, a couple minutes. That's all you got.
M4 is like 18 seconds.
M4, same thing. Take it apart, put it back together. That's it.
Right.
As the weapon systems grow, the time
gets more difficult.
And gets more difficult. Exactly. I don't even remember the Mark 19, what the timing is for that one. The Mark 19 is the automatic grenade launcher.
Yeah.
So why now in policing, right, in law enforcement, you may qualify on a weapon. I'll tell you right now, I'd say maybe I'll say most, actually. Most cops don't really know how to properly take apart
Right.
The patrol rifle.
Yeah.
They don't know how to properly take apart their handgun. I mean, we were just talking, I think you gave an example of somebody who had a popcorn kernel.
A popcorn kernel.
In the barrel of their weapon.
How fucking long was that in there?
Yeah.
How long was it? Wasn't in the barrel. It was in one of the pieces. So he probably, what I think happened was he was taking a mag.
Yeah.
Like probably like an admin load or something like that.
Oh.
And he jammed it in there. So it would have probably created all kinds of malfunctions.
Oof.
You know what I mean?
Can you imagine that would blow up in his hand?
Something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And thank God that they checked it.
Yeah. My God. But anyway, so
for the rat that's listening to this, I don't know the person that we're talking about. I had seen it.
Okay.
They were talking about it because I know there's a rat listening to the show. But anyway.
Anyways. Well, we'll give him some cheese later.
Yeah, he's going to get cheese. But anyway.
So that's the thing. So to me, in my mind, as a firearms instructor, if you are to qualify with your weapon, you not only have to qualify, but you have to know how to take it apart, put it back together in a specific amount of time or no time. I don't really give a shit as long as you show me actually you're proficient in taking it apart, put it back together. But actually, let me go back a little bit. I actually do want the allotted time because that's stress induced. Yep. That's the whole idea of the stress-induced stress inoculation is to have that, fucking ball of fire under you just to give you like, hey, let's do it. I mean, I'll give you a great example. We did SWAT training the other day. I was just joking, remarking about how we were running around. Literally, we were running around. So train as you fight, right? So the situation was just this. We were behind the tree line on the other side, so we had to run about 30 yards, make a right, do an entry, and address whatever's in front of us.
Okay.
Now, we didn't know what it was.
Live fire.
Okay. We had no idea what it was. They gave us 30 seconds. That's all you got. That's the only information you got. You're the first SWAT operator to show. You two are partners. Go. And that's it. That's all we had.
Yep.
Like, all right. So me and my partner, the two, I think, widest guys on the SWAT team, but Ed, he, real good dude. We took off, took a right. Did I think maybe we ran another 10 yards to get to the cones where the entry was, and it was two hostage rescue targets.
Like holding a gun to somebody. Okay,
yeah, exactly. Yep. So you only had a small. Yeah. So heart rate's up, all that's up. Fire 2 rounds, and my partner does 2 rounds, and then there was a target in the middle, no gun.
Perfect. I like that. Yeah.
That was to me that was awesome, and everyone on the team loved it because it was like it was a cold. That's the reality of it, though. If you train as you fight, that's what would happen if we show up to a call.
Sure.
And we have to react right away, and we have to act. Where let's say it is a hostage rescue, but we don't have time to wait for the rest of the team. He just gave the countdown. We got to go.
So like in a lot of cities. Not going to mention which one here, but in a lot of cities, they have what's called gun cars. Mm-hmm. And literally, you have 2 operators riding around the entire city.
Yep.
They've split the city up into sectors. Yep. So in this particular city, there was 5 gun cars out.
Okay.
There was a hot call. Anything with weapons, guns, basically anything you wanted to go to.
Yeah.
You would go to it.
Yeah.
And that was your thing. Like, you'd have 2 operators that if you needed...
Yes.
To take action, you were taking the action.
Yes.
If you didn't, you could set a perimeter. You can call the team. You can wait for the other gun car. You can, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So you're 100. That's why when you started talking about that training, I was like, wow, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It induces that stress, right? It induces, and it's also that element of surprise. You have no idea what's going on. They tell you you're going to make an entry and address whatever's in front of you.
Right.
Now, obviously, on the street, you might have a little bit more info. Like, this guy had a hostage. He's counting down. We need to move now. It might be just you and maybe 2 other operators, and you have to move. You don't have that choice. Or it's you and 2 patrol officers.
I was just going to say, it's a patrol situation.
It's a patrol situation. It doesn't even have to be SWAT. But with SWAT, obviously we like to keep the heart rate elevated. So as I was running by my ruck march partner, I told him to fuck off for making me run because my feet were already dying. But
eat a dick!
Yeah, exactly. But I really liked it. And everyone on the team did great. Except for the brand new guys who are going through selection, they shot the hostage, and we made them walk around with the signs up and showing everyone why I shot the hostage.
I'm a murderer, stuff like that.
It was great, but
enjoy federal prison.
Exactly, but it kind of hit home also what myself and what my partner were talking about was that sort of training.
Yeah.
To now we know now essentially. I mean, my heart rate. If I remember my phone. I look at my phone, and it gave me. I was around like 145, 150. Because of the sprint go, and you don't know. It's the unknown, so your heart rate's up, and you lay the 2 rounds, and I hit my guy. One in the cheek and one in the chin.
Beautiful.
Done.
Yeah.
So my partner did similar, but it was that level. Now you know where you're at under stress, right? There's a baseline. Now you work off that baseline. Okay, so my heart rate at 145, 150. This is where I'm at. Let me push it now. Let's see what I do at 160.
It's all about desensitizing. It's just about everything in policing you need to be desensitized to.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, that's the whole purpose of getting yelled at in the academy and why I have a problem that they don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, we were corrected. One academy has gone back to it.
Still does it. Okay.
Yeah. We
somebody emailed you or something, right?
Yeah. If you remember, it was actually a DM. Because someone slid to my DM, to our DM.
Slid to the DM.
And it was actually an academy instructor that we both know.
Guys, when you send Ayman naked pictures, I'm not looking at them, just so you know. It's all Ayman.
And I rub baby oil all over me watching, put lipstick on my lips while look in the mirror and say, I'd fuck me.
And that's the show, everybody.
And once again, Ayman took the line, went over it, and went.
I'm going to call for an eval.
Section.
He's fucking lost his shit.
I have.
Okay,
anyway.
Desensitizing, right? People need to hear what you just said because they need to get desensitized.
Yeah.
But people need to realize you need to get that heart rate up, not to test you, not to make you fail, but it's good to fail, right?
No,
fail often.
Exactly.
But you need to get desensitized to it.
Here's the thing. So later on during the training, again, it goes back into that philosophy where, so we were doing a double tap drill essentially. Now before double tap, no, it's actually there's a reason behind that drill. It's recoil management. It's not about just double tap. It's more recoil management.
Yep.
You fire. Not fast, but you fire sooner, which I liked how the firearm instructor did. So we have on SWAT, one of the instructors is a competitive shooter. Guy's aces.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's aces.
That's badass.
And so he does most of our training for SWAT.
Yeah.
And a real good solid operator, great guy, great friend. And that's the thing. He said you don't want to shoot faster, you want to shoot sooner.
Yeah, okay. It's a totally different mindset. I like
different
that.
mindset.
I've never heard that before.
Sooner. And so we went ahead and did that double tap drill, 2 rounds as quickly as possible. We need to get the rounds out in under 0.20 seconds, so 2 milliseconds essentially. So 0.20. That's.
And you had the timer.
No, I think he was timing to make sure everyone went out. I mean, we were like, I think it was like 10 operators, so I think that machine would have fucked up.
I got it.
But he kept, just keep in mind 0.2 seconds,
Yep.
So we started at the 3, 5, 7, and then went to the 12.
Okay.
And what happens, obviously, so at the 3, get used to it.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom. As fast as you can.
Nice tight group.
It's not even about the group. He said he could give a fuck about the group. What he wants to look at,
get him out,
is not just get him out. So your first round is going to hit bullseye. It's where your second round ends up that you can tell how you're managing that recoil.
Oh,
exactly. So it's not so much, just only on the bullseye. So your first round is going to be dead on. It's your second round that's going to tell you how you're managing that recoil.
Makes so much sense.
Right? So we went all the way. So started at 3, bam, bam, bam. We did about 5 sets of 2 rounds. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, we got our baseline at the 3-yard line. And, we got faster as we went along. Back up to the 5. Same thing. Bam, 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 bam. Literally over and over again. Everyone, the grouping started obviously expanding. A couple of my rounds went, one of my rounds actually, you felt it too, went far left, hit the gray on the target. I felt it. I knew I fucked it up on the second one.
Yeah.
And, he'd go down all the targets, say, hey, Ayman, you saw what happened there? Did you feel the fuck up? I said, oh, yeah, no, I felt it. He's like, okay, good. As long as he felt it, you know what you did wrong. Fix it. I said, yep, you got it. So the further back we get, obviously at the 12-yard line, very difficult. And even him as a competitive shooter, he's at a 12-yard line. It is hard,
right?
Because you're like letting them rip.
Yeah.
Again, it's not about the grouping. It's always about where that second round went.
Well, look, the dynamics behind it is exactly it. You're getting desensitized to it.
Exactly.
You're seeing the dynamics. You're feeling the dynamics. Dude, I love that.
And you train as you fight, though. That's the thing. You're training as you fight. Here's the thing. Are you going to really be up there at, let's say you're at a gunfight and you're going to do bam, bam. How many gunfights we've seen with cops that just unload an entire, you know what I mean? Like just, and that brings me to my other one of my more concerning.
I'm waiting for this.
Yeah, one of my more concerning stats that I recently learned is academy graduates, after they graduate the academy, have an 18% accuracy rate at a officer-involved shooting.
Not calling you out on it, where did you see it?
That was at Fort Science.
Okay, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, that was at Fort Science.
18% accuracy.
Yeah.
Was there a specific amount of rounds? Like, what was the dynamic?
I don't remember. I wish I didn't bring the research paper with me. I forgot to bring it with me. But I'll put it out when this episode airs. I'll send you the link,
and I'll include it in the. Okay.
And you can include it into that way people can actually read, because it's a very well done, as Fort Science always does, very in depth research into that. That 18%.
18%.
I mean, so that's almost 1 out of 9. Rounds.
Yeah, like I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm not calling anybody out. That number is incredible.
But that's a training issue.
Right. It's a training issue. It's a self-training issue. It's something that.
Oh no! I'm not saying training issue as in the PDs or whatever or academies. No, it's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you to train.
But you know what? I don't see somebody like Fort Science puts that out. I don't understand how a chief doesn't hear that and go, what? We need to get everybody to the range.
Thing is, though, most chiefs, I shouldn't say some, most chiefs are numbers guys.
Right.
And budgets and all this.
But 1 out of 9.
I know.
Talk about numbers. Here's your liability, dude.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like
8 fucking errant rounds.
That's the thing. Like to me and to you, operators and actually guys who are hitting the ground and most likely when we were hitting doors, we were at like the high 90 percentile rate that we're going to get into a firefight just because the nature of who we're going after. So that's why our training and our rounds are very specific, and we're very meticulous on how we train. But on the patrol level, I think, again, like we said, patrol level should be training like SWAT. Yeah. Because during an active shooter, they're the ones going in before I show up,
right?
Before the team shows up, during even that prior scenario, the hostage rescue where patrol gets there and all of a sudden the guy wants to blow the friggin' girl or guy or whoever's head off, they got to go in, and it's one of those things that you need to train like you're going to fight. Right. You need to get your heart rate up, and it's very important. It's incumbent on you as individual officers. Don't rely on your department. If you rely on your department to get the proper training, you are in for a world of hurt.
I know how I feel about this particular thing. I want to know how you feel about it. How much dry firing should people be doing?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, all the time.
Once a week?
Shit, do it after, I do it actually in the evening when I'm sitting there.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. I do when I'm, that's the thing, the weapon system I was telling you about, the training system. That's what's great about it, is I don't have to worry about cycling every time I shoot, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It keeps the cycle going. It recycles automatically a trigger. So that's the thing with me. Not only am I training, racking the round, I get that training too. Yeah. Bam, bam, boom, rack, boom, rack, boom. So it's all that training.
Muscle memory, mental memory.
Here's the thing. I mean, I saw it at war firsthand when shit hit the fan for me. My body went into autopilot. Yeah. Like totally like it's hard to describe.
There was no thinking.
There wasn't any thinking whatsoever. All I knew is I was given a task, get that task done. Right. And that's it. And my body took over. If it wasn't for training, if it wasn't for my dedication to training, it wouldn't have gone the way it went during that mission.
And I don't know how you feel about it, but when I think of the dedication to training, right, and you do a lot more physical training, I'm a big advocate of the mental training as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right? Like, if you weren't mentally fit when the round started flying, you wouldn't have done that automatic response.
Fuck no.
So people need to realize that it's mental and physical.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. It's mindset.
Mindset.
It always goes back to mindset. No matter how you spin it, how you whatever, you could be in the best physical shape of your life, but if you don't have that mindset to be a fucking lion,
you're going to get eaten.
You're going to get eaten. You know, I've seen some fucking solid dudes, again, not shitting on them. It is what it is, you know, that freeze up.
Yeah.
It's like when you're battle tested, you're battle tested. That's why I call it battle tested. Because now you know how you're going to react under fire.
You see that 1,000-yard fucking stare a lot, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, once you got that taste, now you know how you're going to be.
And people need to realize is we're not saying that once you get desensitized or once you get involved in something or something like that, you're going to be doing it right for the rest of your career. No.
Oh, no. There's going to be times.
You need to stay up on it.
Well,
every single little thing is perishable, I think.
It's a perishable skill. Exactly. That's the thing. Like you were actually telling me now that you're back on patrol.
Yeah.
You felt it when you did one of your entries.
Yeah.
Like you felt rusty, right?
Sometimes I text you and I'm like, hey, I did this or I did that. And I'm like, I couldn't believe I fucking did that.
Yeah.
It's definitely perishable. It's incumbent upon me. Yes.
Yeah.
But does it make me less of a cop? No.
No.
Me, I think personally, and tell me if I'm wrong, but me calling myself out on it makes me try and prepare for it better.
Oh yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
The self-AAR is probably the biggest thing. And that's the thing, you know, leave your ego at the door. And that's one big thing with our training that we're going to be rolling out. Leave your ego at the fucking door because we don't have time for a piss match over your ego, you know?
Yeah.
And it's very important when you do an AAR, even when you do an AAR with your partner after training or after a call or after whatever, fucking big boy pants on. If you fucked up, own up to it. I mean, how many times at SWAT are you get called out? Hey, Pete, you fucked this up, or you know, and you're just like, oh, okay, you know.
Or sometimes I'd call myself out.
Yeah,
I fucked this up.
I mean, I've actually when was it was actually during the range. I mean, my legs were fucking dead, but I didn't use that as an excuse. I was just like, oh, fuck, yeah, hey, sorry, Ed, man, I fucked that entry up, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, thing is, again, self-AAR, self-assessment, self-criticism to make because it's not like I'm dogging myself. Well, I'm dogging myself, but not. It's to remind myself, hey, you're better than this.
It's awareness.
Exactly.
It's awareness. And that's what gets cops in trouble.
Yeah.
Lack of awareness.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I'm talking about that from the fundamental level, from the basic call level to the officer involved shooting level.
Yep.
It's awareness.
Yep.
Awareness of everything going on around you, awareness of everything going on inside you. You know what I mean?
There's a saying in the military, always scan your 5 and 25. Military guys know what that is. It's basically you scan your 5 meters, you scan 25 meters after dismounting, after doing anything during combat. Scan your 5 and 25 because you always need to be aware.
What that's doing is that it's putting you in the proper mindset.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes you out of, you can be the cockiest fucking human being on the planet, but if you're not scanning your 5 and 25, you're going to fuck up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every time I go anywhere, to a call, to whatever, you know, with my unit, we're working, whatever. Yeah, the minute I step out of that cruiser, even in the cruiser, you know, as I roll up on scene, I already assess where I want to park.
Right.
I you know, there's, depending on the house, depending on what situation I'm dealing with, I'll either go, yeah, sure, I'll go in front of the house because if it's a little old lady that I'm trying to get services to help her out with stuff, that's different. But if it's like, you know, one of our gangbangers or one of the hardcore criminals, yeah, I'm not going to park in their fucking driveway or even, you know, I'm going to park like maybe 25 yards back,
something
to
right.
give me
right.
to give me my escape route, right? And that's one thing I hate, right? Where so I see cops do this all the time. Where in any fucking training book do you see that when you're gonna go arrest somebody for a fucking warrant, you park in front of their fucking house?
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Like the movies.
Yeah.
When like a person's sitting on their couch.
Yeah.
And they hear the sirens coming.
Yeah, yeah.
And they see the lights and it's,
yeah.
Woo, woo, woo,
yeah,
oh, they're here for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it works, or that's not how it's supposed to work, especially for a fucking warrant.
That's what it drives me off the fucking wall. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me. And actually, most recently, I read a article from California National Tactical Officers Association. They published an article about the highest percentage where cops get shot.
Okay.
And guess where? At a house.
Where, in a house?
No, yeah. Where at the house do cops get shot the most?
Doorway?
Yeah, front door. It's
basic.
It's close to 90%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Close to 90% is where a cop gets shot at, from the front of the doorway. So why are you as a cop parking in front of the fucking house if you know you're going after somebody who's got a warrant? It could be a bullshit misdemeanor warrant. It doesn't matter. A warrant's a warrant to me. I mean,
it could be anything.
Here's the thing, man. When I was working in the city, I got into a fucking melee. All I knew is, over the radio, I hear, one warrant in hand, which I hate when they say warrant in hand.
And the other person can hear it.
And the other person can hear it, because that's how the fight fucking happened.
No, I don't.
And dude, the fight was on. But you know what the fucking warrant was for? Jury duty.
Jury duty or something? Yeah.
Jury duty. The stupidest fucking warrant.
So you just amped this fucking guy up without even opening your mouth.
I didn't even do shit. I didn't do
I know.
But that's the thing. It was a melee over jury duty. So you're telling me, let's say again, I have never ever arrested somebody on a fucking jury duty warrant except for that asshole who fucking decided to lay into me. Because 9 times out of 10, I'll ask, okay, what it's for.
Yeah.
And either they'll tell me it's for fucking murder or they'll tell me, BS jury duty. And I'm like, hey, listen, fucking jury duty.
Go take care of that.
Go take care of it,
right.
Before somebody else fucking locks you up over it. And dude, no, it was a fucking, and I'll never forget, I was yelling at him because when I was pissed, I go over the radio, I'm like, what the warrant's for? Because I thought it was going to be like ABDW, ABDW, fucking like assaulting cops, whatever. And fucking dispatch goes, jury duty. I fucking yelled at him. I'm like, for fucking jury duty? You just fucking did this? I'm like, holy,
You could have died.
That's the thing.
That lack of imagination, that 5 and 25, needs to be taught everywhere.
Exactly. I mean, now where I've been working for years, they do a good job on saying, are you ready for traffic? That tells me, all right, And
I like that. Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I have my earpiece now in. That was early on when I was more of a rookie cop and couldn't afford anything. But now I got a earpiece in my ear, so I don't mind. Yeah, go ahead. Or if I don't have the earpiece, I'll have my partner stand by and I'll walk out a little bit. Be like, yeah, go ahead, and they'll tell me whatever I need to know. But it goes again. We'll go back, train as you fight, though.
Right.
When you train as you fight, you scan your 5 and 25, you have that mindset, you get to where you got to be, and you continuously push yourself. See where you hit that wall. Once you hit that wall, so this is what we say, the competitive shooter on SWAT, right? This is kind of one of the things he was talking about. Again, one of the things we were talking about during the ruck. We train at 110%, right? Just 110%. We always go all out, right? Oh, people always say there's no way you can go past 100%. Oh, no, you can go back. You can exhaust yourself.
Yeah.
But when you hit that 110%, you're hitting that wall. So let's roll it back to 90% and then roll it back up. See where you're at.
Now the 90% doesn't feel as bad as it did before.
Exactly. That's the whole idea behind it. So when we're pushing ourselves in SWAT, during my PT, doing a fucking 26-mile ruck or whatever whatever fucking jumping out of planes, whatever crazy shit I'm doing, I'm testing those limits.
Yeah.
I'm pushing it because I want to know where I get that neurological breakdown or physiological breakdown. Fine motor skills, gross motor skill. Here's the thing. You can still have fine motor skills at heart rate of 180. You know why?
If you train for it.
I'll give you this. For science research, right? Formula One race car drivers.
Yep.
Average heart rate during a race, 180 to 200.
Wow.
180 to 200 average heart rate.
Talk about fine motor skills. That's minute motor skills.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Right?
Wow.
But they're driving and they're talking.
Yeah.
You hear them, when they go back and forth with their pit crew and all that, they're talking. They're hitting the fucking steering wheel, doing the buttons. But you have to train it. You can't, you will never get to that point only just doing mental over and over again. It has to be both mental and physical.
You know what I was curious about?
What's that?
When you jumped out of the plane.
Yep.
What did you know? Because I know you're a fucking deep motherfucker like I am. Auditory exclusion, any visual shit? I'm sure you were aware of your heart rate. Were you thinking, how hard am I going to hit the ground? Like, what was going through your mind?
So the initial jump, right? So not even the airplane, the initial jump, just that first step off the plane and you go.
Were you shaking?
No, it was more, it wasn't even auditory exclusion. It was more like this, all the senses just
hyper focus.
Yeah, hyper focus senses.
Hyper aware. Sorry.
Yeah, hyper awareness, because it's like, oh yeah, holy shit, I'm jumping out of a plane, and you're hoping the parachute opens up like the way it's supposed to.
Right.
But once all that is done, then you settle. Like, okay, got it out of the way. Because when you're floating, you're like, ooh, this is cool.
I got you.
And then before you hit the ground, now you're moving at about 8 miles an hour. Because, again, those parachutes are made to go that fast, because technically you should be getting shot at.
Right.
So,
which I would have loved to be hitting you with fucking Sims. Imagine that. You're coming down and I'm like, pop, 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 pop.
I would fucking chase you down, even with actually, I wouldn't be able to, because the parachute would hold me back.
You'd be flapping your arms. Faster.
Yeah, exactly. So towards the end, when I'm about to hit the ground, actually in the video, you hear me breathing, like getting ready, because you're coming down fast.
Yeah.
And of course, you're supposed to it's called PLF, but it's more like tuck and roll type of landing. That way you don't break your foot. Because have you ever tried stopping
8 miles an hour
to zero on a treadmill? It doesn't work too well. You fly off the fucking treadmill.
I was about to say, we recommend you try it, but do not try it.
No, please don't try it. Or unless you're crazy. Whatever. But anyways,
sign a hold harmless agreement.
Yeah. So so that's essentially what I was going through during that jump. And once you're done and you land, you're like, holy fuck, I just did it.
Did your senses come down after? Was it like a dump?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, when I came back home, dude, because we did 5 jumps total.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Did it get easier?
It got easier, but when I got home, man, I was tired for like a week.
Oh, really?
Well, you're talking because
it took a lot out of you.
Because that's how much it took out of me. Because I was like tired, because your adrenaline is going, you're doing all these things, and not only that is because I was also taking care of the 10 veterans. So I had a lot going on, also, but it did take a lot out of me. So
the physiological response was after.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
That's always been me, even after war. Like that's why guys are like, dude, how the fuck can you sleep before a SWAT hit? Like I'm in bed, passed out, no problem. For me, it's always after. That's kind of the way I condition myself. That's why I tell the story of when I had that panic attack. It was 2 days after a SWAT hit. It's because now I'm processing everything I was supposed to feel.
Has Force Science done anything with jumping out of planes?
No, they stick more law enforcement. I don't know. Actually, right. I shouldn't say that. They probably have, but they've got so much research out there.
I'm interested to see the data on that.
Yeah.
And to compare it to like your experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see that, because that's something that we should also kind of bring in, again, without giving up info, but bring into our training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, so our training, so here's the thing, from 2 years ago, when we started this podcast, we set out kind of this course to say, all right, we're going to put together this fucking kick-ass training, and it's coming soon. It's sooner than everyone probably thinks. And what it's going to do is it's going to teach you about yourself.
And keep in mind, as Ayman's explaining this to you, look through our guests and things that we've talked about, things that we've brought up, even from Ayman's articles and all that stuff. And kind of imagine everything getting put together, beautifully presented. Yeah. Like a nice dish.
Yeah. Delicious.
Delicious.
Succulent steak.
Suck? What? Oh, giggity. So anyway. So you were saying, I totally cut you off.
Yeah. So it's this type of training that to me, because again, I derive some of my experiences from war because you're learning about myself in times of crisis, so to speak, and even times on the job too, where shit goes downhill and you're like, holy shit, and with the working out and all that. Now, obviously, it's not going to be like a fucking training smoke session, but what it's going to do is it's going to teach you about yourself more than you think. That's the thing, more than you think.
And I want to be clear to people. It's not going to be a bunch of cocky guys telling you how to do things.
No.
All we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to certain parts of yourself, giggity, that
giggity big time,
that you don't realize, or that, remember the Rocky Balboa? I forget which Rocky it was. And Apollo Creed had Rocky swimming.
Oh yeah.
And Rocky was like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And he kept like yelling at him, and he kept saying to him, you're using parts of your body that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And he was a professional fighter.
Well, that's the thing. So that's the thing, though. We always, again, if you read through my articles, go through the episode, you're going to realize what we've been talking about all along is the primal instincts. It's something that technology took away from us, right? It's something that sitting in that cruiser, you've got all these bells and whistles and fucking computers and all kinds of shit going on in the car. You lose touch of that primal instinct of sensing that danger, of sensing that fucking guy coming up behind you. You have more senses than you think.
Or the person looking for help, or all of these things.
You miss out on these social cues. And the thing is, though, again, it's not going to be a bunch of, and here's the thing, the instructors that, not just myself or Pete, there's going to be a couple others that are really high end, we'll call them.
Yeah, they smoke the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Or me, I could talk about me.
but they know what they're doing. And obviously I have no idea, and Pete has no idea, but we'll figure it out as we go. But
I've been doing that my whole career.
Yeah. Fake it. Make it look good. Smoke and mirrors.
They say fake it till you make it. I'm still waiting to make it.
But that's the thing, though. That's why I'm, today's topic, I really wanted to talk about train like you fight, because it is very important, especially this day and age. The way law enforcement is. I mean, I see it getting better because we're getting so much good training and funding out of it. Because it seems that the pendulum is coming back around and things are starting to sway our way. Because people are realizing that crime does not pay, and looking the other way does not work, and burying your head in the sand does not work, and open up needle clinics does not work, and I don't know what else have gone on in the last 2 years.
Everything in the last 2 years.
So if you look back at the last 2 years, everything that myself and Pete were talking about, that and kind of voicing our concerns that everyone in law enforcement had. And guess what? Yeah, it fucking happened.
Here it is. Ready? I told you so.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, exactly.
This should be the I told you so episode.
I know. But to our civilian listeners who we love dearly, and you guys rock, and definitely I love seeing your emails and your naked bitches. They're all awesome.
Giggity. And
oh shit, my wife listens to this. Never mind. No, I don't get any of those.
It's men.
Well, okay, that's true actually. But to our civilian listeners, it's also incumbent on you to go to the chiefs of police, to go to the mayor, to the city council, whatever, and just to say, hey, why aren't our officers being trained X, Y, and Z? Why aren't our officers being taught this? Why aren't they learning that? Think about it. The finest fighting force on the face of the earth, the U.S. Army, the U.S. military, fuck the Marines. They, just kidding. Just kidding.
That was Ayman. That wasn't me.
My Marine brothers, y'all know I love you. But the finest fighting force on the face of the planet that has methods and learned ways of being desensitized and being able to perform under high extreme stress. That is war. You don't think that sort of training. Now, I'm not saying you're going to create killers or any of that bullshit. No, what you're creating is a generation of cops that know how they're going to react under stress and are cool about it.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right, dude. I mean, especially with everything that we've been putting together, like I've been saying, everything has been a hint as to what's coming.
Yeah.
It's been a giant tease.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And we've had a great time fucking doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing it come to fruition is like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that a lot of people are going to be able to take things from this. It's kind of like when we had, and you've experienced this before too, when we would have somebody from like Devereux come fucking train with you.
Yeah.
Right. You know, these guys were badass.
Yeah.
They didn't shove it in your face.
No.
And they would always tell you, we're here to show you the way we do it.
Yeah.
If you take one thing from it,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not, I'm awesome. Look at me. The way you're doing it is wrong. The way you see a lot of the humbleness and a lot of those guys was like, hey, I see you guys do it a little differently. I would have done it like this. If it works for you, maybe change it. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
And that's what we're doing.
But that's the thing, though, like in SWAT and those types of teams, we understand that.
Right.
But on the patrol level, you see it all the time where these guys get fucking butthurt, and you're like, hey, fucking put your big boy pants on.
And another thing that I want to call out, right? And I'm not calling anybody out specifically, but it happened to me maybe a few months ago. Somebody came to me at the range. I'm not a range instructor. I'm not anything to do with firearms, right? I'm good, but I'm not fantastic. I got through my quals and everything, my SWAT quals. I did fucking fine. But they knew my history and they were like, hey, can I ask you a question? And they were almost embarrassed to do it. And I was like, what's up? Can you come outside? And we went outside and I dealt with the issue. It was very minor. It was very like, whatever, big deal. And he was like, oh man, I'm sorry that I even asked him. What the fuck are you sorry for? There's nothing wrong with asking somebody.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to turn around and be like, you're a fucking idiot. Why don't you? Well, there's some guys that would. If they do, let us know who they are and we'll call them out. But
I've seen guys put bullets backwards in the fucking magazines. Those are idiots.
That's above and beyond fucking help.
Exactly. That's you need Jesus, dude. That's all. That's it. You're done. These aren't cops, by the way. That was back my army days. I saw that. That was awful. But anyways,
there's nothing wrong with going up to anybody and asking and talking. And, if you don't want to go through training, talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing with the self-help with the police stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the emotional traumas and all that stuff. Yeah. Talk to somebody. There's always going to be somebody that's going to want to talk.
Yeah.
We've done exceptional work with that shit.
Yeah.
Ivan, you got to train as you fight, bro.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to talk about tonight, man. Train as you fight. And you guys, you gotta have that mindset.
Oh, I got to call out a fuck up.
Oh, go.
Of mine.
Oh, all right.
Charger flashlights.
Oh, yes.
I needed one at 4 a.m. Grabbed my light out of my bag. Didn't work. Didn't have a backup. And I said to myself, self, you're an idiot. Yeah. But self, I charged this 2 days ago. Why didn't it work? And what I realized was when I was putting it in my bag, it has one of those buttons at the bottom of it.
Click on.
Click on.
Yeah.
It clicked on when I put it in my bag at home. So it burned out.
Burned out. Okay.
So, little fucking call out.
Well, here's the thing. Like with me personally, like I don't know, again, train as you fight, but with me, in my cruiser, I keep sets of batteries, double A's, triple A's, like for all my shit. That way, should a flashlight not work, I got spares with me all the time. And that's the thing, everyone needs to think about this, like during training. Think about the situations you were in and how you overcame them and what can you do better. Self-assessment is probably one of the most important parts, if not the most important part of this job.
Yeah.
More than somebody else telling you where you fucked up is you got to look internally yourself and say, yeah, I fucked this up. It doesn't even have to be tactical, whatever. It could be a fucking writing a report, oh shit, I fucked this up. Let me fix it next time. Or next time I'll do it better.
Or not paying attention to your gear.
Yeah.
It's the most minute thing, right? But when you think about it, when I was driving home, I remembered saying to myself, what would have happened if I brought that light up and I needed it to get in a gunfight or something and I clicked it?
You know what that is? Complacency, bro.
It is. It's 100%.
That's it.
But I'm trying to tell you my mindset.
Yeah.
That click and the light not turning on probably would have gotten me killed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That one little, what the fuck just happened? Bang.
Well, because it gave you that moment of pause.
Exactly.
That you weren't expecting.
That stressor
Yeah.
that didn't get my heart rate up, that didn't do anything, but oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're trying to say with a lot of desensitizing yourself to these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fuck up. I fucked up. Sorry, guys.
Well, you're an asshole.
I am an asshole. I've heard that a lot these days.
No, well, must be true.
Everybody can fuck themselves. ProjectSapient.org. Guys, check us out there. You can find our email there too, ProjectSapient2020@gmail.com. I want to say tens of thousands, thanks to our tens of thousands of listeners all over the world. Every month it just keeps growing. Our supporters, DCD Automotive, which is the Boch Group, Effective Fitness, EFT, Till Valhalla Project, AAA Police Supply. We love AAA Police Supply. HAVOK Journal, our partners at the Profiles and HAVOK podcast, Second Mission, Live Boston, OD Kit, Eagle Eye Firearms, GunTrack, Fit Cops, 22 Mohawks, and Joint Operation. Guys, we love you. Stay safe.
Stay sapient.